Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful day yesterday and hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. So, we're just going to bypass the whole Oblivion thing and jump straight into Space Engineers. That seems to be kind of where the focus is right now. Better people are doing the whole Oblivion thing. Let them do it. But yesterday we had a good bit of fun getting started with this. Well, getting our base in order. And hey, what's up, Matt? Just kind of getting everything motivated forward. So, the biggest thing that I need to do is, I need to go collect that unknown signal. Let's get these batteries unlocked. And fair enough. Nothing wrong with lurking. Alright, let's go collect this signal. Also, I need to go find some more ice at some point. That. Well, there goes the ice. Found it. First try. Awesome. So let's just, what we'll probably do is go ahead and slide on down here, grab the signal, then we'll hit up some ice. That way I can get some fuel for the hydrogen thrusters. Let's get slowed down here. Still need to come up with landing gear on this thing. But wait for now. No, that actually just sits quite nicely on the ground. There we go. What do we get? Badger boots. Like I don't already have 1,000 of those. And some scrap. I would imagine so. I know it's a penny, but man, I'm so tired of like the 16th pair of Badger boots. And why would you play with voxel damage off? That just seems counterintuitive. This. There we go. All right, let's go collect some ice, shall we? Uranium, yay! Ice, ice, baby. Oh, damn it. That sucked. Oh. That's fair. At least... Really, the only thing that we lost was the 2 cargo containers, or the cargo container and the hydrogen thrusters. So honestly, it's not as bad as it could be. I probably lost some extra blocks underneath, but those are steel plates. That's easy to replace. Let's just grab the ice. Ice that I was after anyway. Oh yeah, no, I wasn't using the hydrogen thrusters at the time, so they weren't important at all because they were completely out of fuel. That was part of the reason why I was coming out here anyway. Needed some ice. And I lost one of the hydrogen tanks. Almost have what I need to replace one of the hydrogen tanks. Oh, I just realized that's hydrogen. This one is oxygen. Oh. No, I can't do that because that's currently what has Shazbot. Alright, what we're going to have to do is put a medium container here. Alright. Now I can go ahead and swap out the hydrogen tank. Alright. There's another unknown signal there. Awesome. Let's drop off what I have here. Let's go get this one. That'll also give the O2H2 generator some time. Oh wow, this one's cool looking. Nothing. Yep, didn't think so. Maybe I can get... Oh, good. Some small steel tubes out of it, which is what I need. Ooh. And there goes a hydrogen thruster. So I'm at least going to be able to replace one of them. So this all works out. Plus some replacement blocks. I'm thinking one of the things that I could do is to actually go ahead and put some 1x1 wheelbases on there that will help act as this. That will help act as buffers in case something like that happens again, which it probably will. Yes. The music is, well, I guess they consider this battle music or battle worthy because of the fact that I'm grinding a grid that is neutral. As opposed to just grinding down something of my own. Oh well. All right. Missing interior plate, that's fine. That done. I know, right? I'm such a bully. Just beating up on innocent signals that did no wrong. Okay, this is where it gets. No, I don't want the big one. They really were. Okay. Thrusters. You into the mix. Save. And on. There we go. Honestly, I'm still surprised we didn't blow up more of the ship. Honestly, that would have been par for the course. Yeah. Turn the headlights on. You know what? Let's grab a little bit more ice before we take off. Just so that way I have some for the base. And then let's also select. That way I know where it is later on. Home. Oh, we're about 10 kilometers away from the first ice lake. Nice. Also, not that far away from home base. Oh, that's why. Why are two of my thrusters off? Oh my god, what's going on? What did I damage? No, it's because you're a dummy, Cruz. Turn them off on purpose because they're reverse thrusters. You don't want them on right now. Let's get some altitude. And let's also start slowing down. Give this a helicopter style flare up. Blame Rockstar. There we go. Today it's Rockstar's fault. I can get on board with this. There we go. Oh, come on. Ah. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's take a look at the damage underneath here. Honestly, not as bad as it could be. Might need to grab some steel plate. Actually, I'm going to have to grab some. And let's go ahead. It really does work incredibly well, and it's a great place to start as a starter base. Like, once you take it over, you have a nice little sort of bungalow, if you will. Something easy to start off with. Pretty sure it just... Oh, I know why, because those are apple ones. Okay. Let's get this repaired. Make sure everything underneath of here is all fixed up. Yeah. Shit out of the bottom there. Okay. I don't need the timer. Let's remove these guys here. Let's run this across. Okay, rid of you. And I went through and I set up my secondary controls for movement, block movement, to be like Space Engineers 2. And I have to admit, it's starting to feel more comfortable, and I'm starting to get used to it. I think what kind of helps is that it reminds me of Helldivers 2, doing the stratagems. So there is that. Okay. Now we're looking a bit better here. Let's get rid of this. Oh, damn. Oh, no, that's the... Okay, yeah. It's like, oh my god, what did I break? Nothing major. Didn't technically break anything. Well, I mean, I did, but I didn't. Oh, good. I have all the pieces that I need to replace it. There we go. Excellent. And looks like I'm missing a piece here. Go. Excellent. Beautiful. Put in a couple more. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. Now I'm thinking what I could do for some landing gear. Let's extend this a little bit so it's easier to work on. This is just going to go bye-bye. Back upstairs. I did, but I took it. Okay, stairs. There we are. Finally, okay. Out of the way. That will just work out better. All right, so. Oh, cool. Also looks like our batteries are recharged or getting recharged. It also helps that there's literally nothing else happening right now on the base. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of this because I want to add in hinges here. Not those hinges. See if I have enough parts. And the reason why I want the hinges underneath of there is because that's where I'm going to add some landing gear. And really all I'm going to do is just put a mag plate under there, I think. You know, attach it to the end so that way they'll just rotate down and then I can mag lock the bottom of the ship to whatever terrain I'm on. Should make it a little bit easier to just connect and be done with it. But it also keeps them out of the way. I just hope I have enough motors for this. Kinda. Damn, not enough motors. Apparently motors are going to be my biggest pain point. So let's steal a couple more from the door. There we go. No, I just want them to be just 'cause. Really? Damn it, you're right. Actually, no. There is a reason. There is a method to my madness. I just realized why. Lower limit is 0. And same over here. Actually, no. Let's do. Need interior plate. Okay. I do have some awesome. Go grab that signal here in a second. Goes that one, and there goes that one. Yes. It's B. G. Okay. Inches. 1 inch 2. Inches. Reverse. Also, make sure that I grab the plates. Oops. Plates. And let's also make sure that they don't auto lock. There we go. Okay. Last thing I want to do, see if I can get one more. I've got the stuff I need for it. Everything but 2 motors. No, wait, no. What do I need the 2 motors for? Oh, the hinge that I don't actually need anymore. We're good. And okay. So there we go. Let's get that thruster added to the group. Thrusters. And there we go. See, kind of a test of fuel. See how well this amount of fuel actually handles. Yes, the new unknown signals are actually really nice. And from, let's say, a new player perspective, they are great for a source of parts. If you're having troubles kind of figuring out what you should be doing, or if you just need a couple of extra spare parts to build something. Like the new unknown signals are helping me go with a piracy build, if you will. So I'm not having to sit there and build an entire base just to handle everything, because I can very easily get a lot of those spare parts from just the signals themselves. So all in all, and they look nicer too. So far, I also haven't had any that have tried to run away from me. So that's also nice. Hey, what's up, Spectre? I actually started it a couple of days ago, but yeah. It is. Yay, cow grinder. Where the hell are you going? Hmm. Wondering if I can grab it with the landing gear. Of course, just my luck, it'd go ahead and blow up in my face. Well, it's because I'm doing something a little bit different in that I am not doing any mining. I did a little bit for stone, like right at the beginning, but that was because this was starting out as kind of a personal playthrough and has since expanded. But I'm doing as little personal mining as possible now. Yep, exactly. And basically trying to live off of the new unknown signals as much as I can. Which is why I'm still using the survival pod. Yes. Well, and it's also a more interesting way of playing. It's yet another piece of the survival puzzle. So it's not just build base, drill underground, profit. So I like that. It's taken a little bit more work, a little bit more effort, especially when I tail whip the ice like an idiot. Okay. And I don't really need landing gear for that. Grab more ice. Okay. Wow. How does it feel? Oh, I know why that can't go in there. Okay. I can figure. Sure, I can fix that. I don't know about that. Like, I understand the desire for something more difficult, but I think just reducing the amount of resources isn't necessarily the way to go. And the reason for that is because the scan range on the ore detectors, or at least the vanilla ore detectors, is so small that it's actually easy to miss deposits. And when you're a new player, and that's the thing to consider. As a veteran player, we know how to do things. We know how to find resources. We know how to maximize resources. And we know how to completely cheese the shit out of the game. That being said, you have to think about newer players, players who don't have the months, years, decade worth of playing the game. They're just getting started. They barely understand how to make a flying vehicle, let alone a rover. They're not looking at the resources going, oh my God, that's so many. They're looking at the resources going, yay, I finally found some. And that's, again, for veteran players, that is very true. I wouldn't necessarily say a toggle. I would honestly say a good way to handle the resource distribution is to have an option at save file generation. When you go to start your game, you should have an option similar to number of asteroids and whatnot to resource scarcity. You know, do you want them to be normal abundance? Do you want them to be scarce? Do you want them to be asteroids only? You know, how do you want to play? And I think that would be a good way of handling it so that veterans can tailor the game to their play style, and new players still get to enjoy the benefit of, you know, that feeling of, yay, I finally found what I'm looking for. Because that, to me, helps incentivize new players to continue playing, because they don't feel like the game is too brutal and too difficult because they can't find anything, even though they're probably standing right on top of it. So it's one of those that I think if you give a slider of sorts, similar to the way that all the other options work, that'll go a long way towards making it better for every form of player. All right, let's get ourselves up here. Get connected to the base. Little low. Okay. Nope. Actually, that works. So I do kind of want to replace. Yeah, that's just a half one. Anything under here? Nope. Okay. I haven't really had a chance to explore more of it yet, so I can't say with 100% like what my feelings on it are. What I have seen so far, however, I do like the look of it. A lot of the lab stuff looks awesome. The new corridors look pretty sweet from what I've seen. Just in general, looks like they put a lot of really good effort and work into it. So I appreciate that. Let's grab everything here. Oof. Good luck with that, Baroque Star. Stay out of trouble there, buddy. Wow, that is a lot of stuff in there. Why does it feel like it just keeps putting everything back in there? That's what it's starting to feel like. Let's just... There we go. Okay. That's what I wanted. Makes it a little bit easier to see everything. I've got 2 grids. 2 more. Actually, several more. I can start looking at additional... let's see. 2 more, and I can start looking at additional thruster. Several additional thrusters. Let's get you recharging correctly. Now, the next thing that I want to consider is that motors are a big issue at the moment. As in, I have none. Oh, and I need... another hydrogen tank. Okay. Go fly over to that one. Is that the small hydrogen? Yes, that is. There we go. That one should fill up. There. Perfect. That'll get us a little extra hydrogen fuel on our ship. Let us make sure we're fully stocked here. That's honestly, that's not that bad. I can make that on just my hydrogen bottle. So, as the title implies, this particular playthrough, we are working specifically on just finding derelicts, on unknown signals. I'm going to try and do a minimum of drilling. However, at this point, if I do find a rock with nickel in it, I may steal some from it, because I'm in desperate need of motors at the moment. And that's fair. Like, I know some people love survival. I know some people are like, I could do without it. So I get it. Wow, they are giving me all the badger stuff. It's like they're badgering me. I see what they did. At least I'm getting some motors out of this. Now, for some of the other stuff, I may actually have to do a little bit of mining. Depending. So for things like gold and silver, I may actually have to do some mining. Yay! I'd really love to get a full set of lava armor. I'd also love to finish my set of lava tools. And you know, time efficiency is a major component in how we decide to play our games. So again, I get that. I have way too much time. So survival is generally the way that I play. Okay. 13 motors. Doing all right. One of the other things that I wanted to do was to see about putting a solar panel on top of the ship. Oh, that's fair, yeah. Almost fully charged. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, and I need some actual headlights here. Let's pop these off. Actually, no, that's not. I haven't seen those. I'll have to try and check them out at some point. Yes. The unknown signals they've definitely worked on and made them just better overall. Especially because a lot of the older ones were, well, old. Let's just put it that way. Yep, I've gotten some cobalt that way. Which is really nice in early game. Nope. That one needs to be rotated. There we go. This one. Okay. I mean, I kind of figured that's what Mummy was. Are you my mummy? And let's see. That one. This one. Need steel plate. Awesome. Yep. Come on. There you go. And that. Excellent. Yeah. Kind of like that. Now I need a color for it. Let's back this up a little bit. Gently land it. There we go. Okay. Let's start off with dark gray, battered. Or retro future. Now. Let's go with battered. Okay. Ooh, the other thing I need to do. Pretty sure I have some gravel. Production, tools, paint gun, paint chemicals. I don't have nearly as much gravel as I thought I did. Maybe I do. Gravel do I have? Oh yeah, no, I've got plenty. Gravel's not going to be a problem for a while. Let's see. Those. Now, here's something I would like to see Space Engineers adopt from Schedule 1, and that's stack splitting. Stack splitting in Schedule 1 is the most beautiful piece of programming I have ever seen. It is so elegant, so exquisite. All you have to do to split a stack is you right-click and grab it. And as soon as you do, you can then mouse wheel to select the number. And between 0 and 100, it'll increment through that. But then anything over 100, it increments in 50s. So I would absolutely love to see Space Engineers do something similar, because that would be so beautiful and it would make me so happy. It's one of those, it's like, you know, some things you can pick up from other games. We won't be mad. All right. Next up, I need add character tools. All right. Battered. Let's do blue top. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, we'll just do a stripe of blue. Not like entire chunks. So that way it's more of a complementary color rather than the whole color. There we go. That one there. All right, and I actually want to go ahead and I think get rid of these blocks here. In favor of another one of you. I have to change that. That's, well, no, that'll maybe work. Up, up, and away. There we go. Took a little bit, but we got there. All right, and we'll get that one as well as that thruster and that thruster. Okay. Then I can put that in there. That in there. Finish it off with this guy. Maybe select that color. And I know, blocks are going to get removed. I'm fine with that. Okay. Finally. There. Clean up this tail section a little bit, make it look nicer, a little less, well, just tacked on, really. Same with this. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, no, that actually works really well. That gives it a little bit more body. That's actually the hydrogen tank. That is a small grid, small hydrogen tank from a tank mod that I have from the hydrogen oxygen pack. But yes, the new small oxygen tank is always a win. Oh, gotcha. Fair enough. Oh, that's good shit. Yeah, no worries. It's all good. Oh, this is what I need to do as well. Let's actually do... No, this is all right. All right, cruiser it is. Okay, info. Cruiser. There we go. The ship now has a name. I need steel plate. It is turning into quite the cute little flying ship, that's for certain. There we go. And... oh, shoot. I didn't even notice the unknown signal there. Let's go get it. Hopefully it's got some more metal grids. I would eventually like to increase the number of hydrogen thrusters that I have on here. Maybe take it to space. Although when that happens, I will wind up giving it a proper cockpit. Maybe a proper rear large connector. Well, we found the one that wants to fly away. Son of a bitch. Wonder. I wonder if I can get this to auto lock to the ground so that I can get to the button. I also wonder. Off. Okay, this is cheating a little bit. Okay, there we go. Yay, leopard welder. Okay. Ooh, lots of extra motors. Yay. And some metal grids. Okay, so we have discovered something. If you get one of these little bastards that tries to fly away from you, and you can get it on its back, and you're using build vision, use build vision to just turn off the thrusters. Problem solved. Okay, let's get this back home. Ooh, yeah. Gotta take care of them bills, buddy. Always gotta take care of them bills. Unfortunately. Stupid bills. And you know what? I'm thinking it might be time to also upgrade to a proper cockpit. As much as I love our current setup, yeah, that's true. And a lot of people do. Let's go ahead. Yes. It's way too easy to forget. Okay. I need... Let's do the flush cockpit. And it needs a connector. There and there. Okay. And do I want to push it all the way back, or do I want to pull it forward a little bit? I think I want it forward a little bit. It's because you're lucky and don't live in America. America, if you're late by like a minute, hell, even if you pay on time, they'll be like, oh, yeah, about that. Sorry, we noticed that you were late by like a second. So you're just going to have to pay extra. Can't do anything, it's policy. Actually, that's not 100% true, but it feels like it. That is the unfortunate state of American economics. Yes, that. And I have enough stuff for it, too. Except for the bulletproof glass. I need nectar. And that. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Yeah, actually. Which means I get to move these guys. Kind of want to keep the conveyor ports there uncovered. And then I can put oh darn. Actually, no, that'll be fine. No, because that's in the way. Well, I already have the landing gear underneath on hinges, so I don't want to get too heavy on actuated parts. It's not a bad idea. It's just not quite the direction I'm going with on this one yet. Actually, yes, I kind of like the way that looks. And then nah, well, I love Clang. All hail Clang. Clang is our Lord and Savior. It who brings us life and death. But I think in this particular case, I'm going to try and go as clangless as possible. If at all possible. I'm still trying to figure out where I could. Ooh, I wonder. What if there? There. Act as the attachment points. Is that wrong? I know I do. Or do I? Nope, I have that right. There we go. That'll act as the attachment points for Okay. I want it like this on purpose because I like that look. I like that sort of snub-nosed appearance to it. But it's also why I like the quarter points, because of the fact that it also gives it some interesting texture. Kinda, yeah. Okay. Now what I need is roots. And I want landing gear to be first. Switch lock. First thrusters are going to be there. Lock them off. Main thrusters are there. You're going to be reverse or switch lock. All right. And there we go. Awesome. It's a little tipped, but it'll be fine. Ah. That is a good point. Now, if they did, or if they had an angled version, you'd probably see a lot more of them. And honestly, they could pretty easily do 45-degree versions. Hey, what up, hollows? Thorn in my side, pain in my ass. Okay. Well, now that I've got a lot of area in here that I can work with. And I can also finally fix the door. There we go. The door is fixed again. One of the other things that I wanted to do was to add let's do short wheel, right and left. The reason being, and I'm not going to put it there, but the reason why I want this is so that I can use these as bumpers of sorts for when I am landing. I'm trying to figure out a good place for them. Some steel plate. Gosh darn it. Okay. And then steel plates. Awesome. What if I put... No, it needs to come down. Yes. Yeah. So that way I have something underneath for kind of hopefully cushioning any mistake that I go to make accidentally. Now, of course, it's not the way that it's going to work because it never works that way. But if it was going to work, that's how it would. It's on that. What I'm going to do is take out these. Received a gift. Oh God, what did you send me? Oh. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you, Hollows. Hollows just sent me Lords of the Fallen version 2.0. So, add that to my library. Hell yes. Really do appreciate that. Thank you very much, Hollows. You guys are going to get to watch me fail at a Souls-like game. Let's do... Yes. Okay, let's get you in there. And you in there. And then... yes. There we go. Honestly, I kind of like the way that the is that the wheel suspensions look underneath like that. They almost look like they should be hover pads of some sort. Grab what we need. Oh yeah, and I also still need to do up the suspensions. Yeah, like if you remove the wheel, they would absolutely look like they're hover pads for ships, which would be kind of cool. All right, there we go. Let's let's see. I want to try something. Okay. Thrusters on, disconnect. I mean, it it does something. But that should actually help quite a bit with protecting it when I go. Like if I'm coming in a little bit too hot, This will help make sure that I don't immediately slam directly onto the belly of the ship. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of a drop there, and that'll be fine. Cool. It's doing that thing, though, where phantom forces are causing it to want to drop. There we go. I wonder if I lock those in place. That'll be fine. Okay. So, now that that's all set, let's throw in another little one of these. I want to put on the bottom of it, so that way it's kind of easy to tell where, the ground is. Awesome. There we go. Oh, hey, and there goes something to go pick up. Nope. Hinges. Oops. There we go. So as long as I turn the hinges off, I don't sink. Right. Which will be fine, because I should be able to land on the wheels anyway, for the most part. At some point, I would like to go ahead and adjust. Give myself a couple extra lateral thrusters. Or I should say strafing thrusters, so that way I can strafe left and right a little bit easier. Awesome. Ooh, kid's pajama suit. Yay. Is there... I'll climb it. I want to knock it over. You're just not cooperating. Fine. Just knock over. Oh my God. Fine, we'll do it this way. Now, fall over. Oh, some silicon. Nice. If at first you don't succeed, build a deeper grave. Oh, you bitch. You evil, evil wench. Honestly, I believe it. It's a paid actor. Okay. This. There we go. Oh, come on. Give me more of this. And there we go. Okay. Oh, wow. Give them a few to make it through the advertisement wall. If they do that these days. I don't remember if they do anymore. Hello, raiding party of Zenton 8787. How are y'all doing today? Dude. Flare up, slow down. Let's try not to go inverted. I have no upside down thrusters. Oh, there it is. Awesome. Yeah, I started doing Scrapyard a while back. Just never stuck with it. I probably should have at some point. Or I should go back to it at some point, I should say. But awesome. Glad to hear you're having a good time. Go. Roasters off. Oh, yeah. I probably need to recharge my batteries. There you go. That's a good way to do it. What am I doing? You idiot. Cruz, why are you stupid? Cruiser batteries. Oops. Recharge on off. There we go. That's what I was after. All right, Zenton. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Do appreciate it. And there we go. Now we can just go ahead and recharge. Excellent. The cruiser is coming along. Alrighty. What time is it? And my cup about runneth empty. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take a quick AFK, grab myself some water. What? Yes, I'm always alone. Alone is what I do. Ooh, and it's starting to hit daytime. Yay. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do is at some point see about adding solar panel to this. Probably add a couple of them at this point. Get. That's not going to work. I just realized that's not going to work because. Oh, there we go. because the ore detector is in the way. So I might have to move the ore detector. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. Give this a little bit of time. I'm also gonna go ahead and start up towards the Fallen downloading in the background. Before I do that, let me see if I have enough space on the hard drive for it. I should. Might not. Might have to uninstall something. Let's see. What don't I need at the moment? Well, actually, I don't need that. We'll just uninstall Space Engineers. Nobody's playing that, right? Oh, yes. It's kind of a fun game to play every once in a while. All right. Yeah, that was Lords of the Fallen. There we go. Oh shit, I didn't need to. Lords of the Fallen isn't that big. Oh well. I can reinstall Helldivers 2 again. Okay, we're going to let that download in the background while I take a quick AFK, go grab some drink. And then when I get back, we will continue working on stuff until I decide that I want to switch over. And we'll see how that goes. So I shall be back. Go. Alrighty, we are back. OBS. And there we go. Alright, so unknown signal again. Thank you. That is kind of the flavor of our particular mission, is that we are specifically looking for unknown signals. Because that's what we're seeking out, how we're getting a lot of our parts for construction right now. And I think part of the reason why I'm sinking is I'm also kind of high up altitude-wise. That might be part of it. Oh, I just realized what I need to do. Let's turn your friction down. Actually, let's do 10. Yeah, 10% ought to be good. I don't want to plummet to my death again. Blow the back end off of this thing like I did last time. The sad part is you are actually correct. More thrusters would actually help the sinking issue. Although not necessarily the hemispheric ones. If I added more of the hydrogen thrusters, that would help. But the problem is that I would burn through a lot of my hydrogen because of it. So... Okay. Nope. I do need it to be higher up. There we go. But yes, what winds up happening is that atmospheric thrusters have a specific altitude where they will start to lose efficiency. Guess that was a did not find anything. And so once you hit that altitude, we'll start reaching a point where it will just naturally start descending until it reaches the altitude where they are more efficient again. That's why generally, in most situations, when you build a ship, you want to build it as either a hybrid thruster setup, similar to the way the NPC ships are set up, where you have atmospheric, hydrogen, and ionic thrusters. Or you just build it with hydrogen thrusters and say, damn it all. I could do that, but I'm not that good. It's part of it. I would most likely blow something up. And what I really need to do, if I want to be smart about it, is actually go ahead and take... Yeah, don't go fast. That doesn't happen here. But what I really should do is take this back section off, basically just shear this off, probably from about here, and put in a large hydrogen tank and start prepping this for space flight. Which, given the current situation, could be fun, considering the fact that I'm not not getting to actually do any mining or anything. Although I should start going around looking for Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. It's because I also don't have any ice. So I'm going to head to the ice lake. It kind of does, actually. Good Lord, am I hella thirsty today. And flare up. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, let's go ahead. And this is where I took the ass end off of this the first time. Hence why it's a big ass hole. Now, this is pretty much the only drilling I'm allowed to do because it's ice. It is, technically. It's just solid water, that's all. Now, that is something that will be coming to Space Engineers 2, is actual water and actual fluid dynamics. That's been one of the things that they've been working on, and I bet that is an oxygen. God bless it. Kind of water in cubes. There we go. Make sure all of that. Okay, good. No extra oxygen tanks. Yeah. Not that bad. Now, they are working on actual fluid simulation, voxel-based fluid simulation. That's one of the beautiful things about voxels, is that they don't have to be square. Voxels can be a lot of different shapes, and generally are. Okay, we should have quite a bit of ice. Oh yeah, good on ice there. All right, so as I mentioned, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back end off here and kind of reconstruct that with a better build so that I can get a proper larger hydrogen tank on there for this. Because unfortunately, the smaller ones just aren't quite cutting it for the amount of hydrogen that I need. So, and then the other issue that I'm running into is nickel. Needing a lot more of it. That's the one thing that I seem to be low on, because I'm not getting any from the unknown signals. Lift. I need lift. I should also see about... Ooh. what I could do is grab some of the ingots that I already have and take those to one of the bases and see if any of the bases will trade with me, first of all. Awesome. But then also on top of that, see if I can trade for some nickel. Are those 2 boulders over there? I've never seen 2 boulders stack up that nicely. Okay, we can slow down now. Slow down. It's okay. But Lords of the Fallen has finished installing, so we have that to look forward to in a little while. In case y'all are interested in watching my misery. Let's get over here. There we go. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen is going to be miserable for me because it is a Dark Souls or Souls-like game. And I am mostly terrible at those. What's going on here? Okay. That sucks. Evil boulder. Also, hey Willie, how you doing? The boulder does not like your drilling machine. Let's go ahead and empty what we have here. Might have to make a second cargo container. This one's getting a little full. And that there. Awesome. That's fair. That is a weird boulder. I have Dark Souls 2, and I've tried to play it in the past. I don't remember if I got very far. I don't recall that I did. The other one that I wanted to try was Elden Ring, because that one seemed to be not only the same sort of challenge of Dark Souls, but just in general more streamlined, more figured out. I know, right? Okay, let's go ahead and let's grab some cobalt. And keep the magnesium because I don't know if I'm going to need it or not. All right, we should be good there. Let's see if we can find a location to sell our cobalt. Oh, Cruz, don't be dumb. Take your freaking credits with you. We're forever saving those up and then never actually utilizing them. Okay. Now, I just have to find... That's, yeah, fair. Sometimes it does feel like Our reaction times are just not adequate. Sometimes I do really good. Sometimes I'm actually not terrible at the reaction time thing. But then there's every other day. So it's like about that. Oh, I'm currently doing 104.38 meters a second. Good Lord. I'm hauling that ass. And there goes our other ice lake, which we look to be about equidistant from on either way. On either side of us is an ice lake that's about 4.5 kilometers away. So either direction we go, we've got ice. Also, that looks like a really nice valley in there. But it also looks like it's painful to get out of. Strangely. Like, if that was smoothed out and you could just get out into this valley, that would be perfect. Right? I could probably even do a bridge from the top of there, line it up, and then up there would be a good spot for whatever. Actually, yes. You're not wrong on that one. One of the other things that I hope that they do for Space Engineers 2 is to also add a slightly greater emphasis on logistics. I know it really is a game about, at its core, just building ships and rovers and buildings and stuff like that, which is cool. I love doing that stuff. But I would love to see an opportunity to actually build better logistics chains so that it's not just dump everything into a cargo container and then dump wait for the cargo container to empty. Wow, where did my frame rate suddenly go? Holy crap. I bet. Let's try changing something. That's a little better, but I'm still not happy. Okay, let's save this. Exit the main menu. And then we'll just restart. It won't be that bad. But yes, I would love to see a greater emphasis on logistics. I would also love to see um I'd love it if the various machines, the various tiers of machines remain viable for specific situations. And especially with the unified grid, like I would love to see a small assembler and a small refinery being useful on a smaller sized ship. Even though it may not produce as much, it would still be a viable thing for a smaller ship, just as you would also have larger equipment for larger ships. There we go. All right, let's get back to exploring. That was weird. And also with the unified grid, it does add a lot of extra nuance to the way that you can construct things. Because now you can build larger small grid ships, small grid. Yes, I saw that pop up on the announcements, which is really cool. Finally. And I think they also did doors last week, if I remember correctly. Which is sad to get excited about doors. Yay, working doors. But I do like that they, yeah. I do like the fact that they are rolling blocks out because it does give people a reason to keep logging in week after week to see what the blocks are and to play around with them, update their builds, things like that. So it's a really good strategy for Keen to do the block rollouts like this. Although the way that they're rolling out the armor block seems a little silly, but whatever. Yeah, that's true. I mean, considering the fact that they're going with vertical slices instead of just rolling out small chunks periodically, there was really only the one option there. Because otherwise, they were going to be dead for weeks on end. So at least this way, it helps retain some people. And especially with survival still potentially months away. Which kind of sucks for them. I think a lot of people were pushing for it. A lot of people, because we're passionate about it. We're passionate about the fact that Space Engineers is kind of the only game like itself. There's Empyrean, but Empyrean's basically dead. If you look at its numbers, player counts and whatnot, it is, by all accounts, a dead game. Space Engineers isn't exactly like a thriving game either, but it is in better situation. Uh-oh. Getting low on that hydrogen. That's okay. I haven't played that one. So I can't say one way or the other whether it's a rival or otherwise. There it is. Yay, another badger drill. I want all the parts. Mostly for repairs. And with all of the various development engines that are out there, I'm surprised we don't see more games like this. Gotcha. Oh, that's new. Oh, there it is. There's a salvage yard over there. Save, just in case, because we're about to do something silly. Far away from home are we? About 30 kilometers. Okay, that's not too bad. Wonder what sort of defenses it has, and more specifically, what sort of offenses I need. Hey, what's up, Angel? How you doing? Okay. Let's see. Nah, not too bad. Can't complain. I mean, I could. It just wouldn't do me any good. That's a drone. Yep, that is a drone. All right, let's get out of here. And that is gunfire. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oof. That is some range on that gunfire, too. Jesus. All right, so. Yes. Salvage base. That way I will know which direction it's at. That's possible. It's also most likely the AI blocks, and they have a better acquisition rate anyway. Oof. So I need to do a little bit of work on this, but I don't know, we might be able to take it out. All I need is I'll definitely want a turret on here. Might not be a bad idea to see if I can get a couple extra thrusters on here, such as... Actually, you know what? I think we're just going to have to do a full retrofit on this. I don't think there's any way that we can just half-ass it. We're going to have to full-ass it. So I'm going to have to add some extra thrusters and whatnot. But I kind of want to attack that. Fortunately, I do have a bunch of magnesium. So I should be able to make ammunition. And with the ammunition, I should be able to do probably Gatling turrets. And what I'll probably do is go ahead and put a couple of AI blocks if I can record it on here. So that way I can have the AI target like weapons and stuff. Because that'll be the biggest thing, is targeting the weapons and getting rid of those. And then I also have to worry about the drone. This is exciting. Because again, this is an area of gameplay that I don't usually reside in with the whole combat side of stuff. If I do combat, I always make sure I'm in a situation where I'm going to be overpowered. So this is kind of a different scenario for me, but also fun nonetheless. True, but it's similar to the usual sort of stuff from modular encounters. So it's not completely outside of the realm of stuff that I'm used to doing. In terms of, the fact that there are bases that are shooting at you. I just don't usually go out of my way to attack them because I need anything from them. That's kind of a big one for me as well, is this is one of the first times where I actually need the stuff that they have. So that's kind of cool. Now, I do have a small problem in that I have very little nickel for making frames, I believe. Go. Shut the shit out of the side of that. I'm actually lucky they didn't do more damage to this. Yes. Like, that fills in such a great gap in the connector war, if you will. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of target practice. But that's okay. We were investigating a pirate outpost, which I had not seen yet. And that's what I wanted to see. Okay, so what we need to do is... yeah, absolutely it will. We're going to need to take this off. Fortunately, I need to take the hydrogen out. Got our work cut out for us. Oh wow, they got the backside of this as well. Oof. Actually, they got a lot of stuff. Wow. Apparently missing some armor here. Okay. I need some steel plate. I hope I will be able to make what I need for this. Rid of you. Ooh, better idea. So that way I'm not being super wasteful. Is nope. I need this. Oh, right, because there we go. And then catwalk. And this one as well. There we go. And I want yeah, there we go. That would actually be really cool. Probably best suited for a mod of some sort. But yeah, definitely I could see that being a thing. That's what I thought. Okay. Okay, there we go. Corner. And that. And that. There we go. That should hopefully help me get a little bit closer. In fact, I could probably even let's do just the half ones here. Get closer still. Yeah, that'll work brilliantly, actually. And then if I still need to get closer, I'll just swap those out for something else. Get rid of that. A part of the reason why I'm not jetpacking around is because I'm actually using a modded suit and it doesn't have a ton of up force or lift, I should say, at present. Under. That one is gross. Nope, wrong one. Yep. Cargo, where are you at? This one. Okay. Speaking of lift, let's go get that signal over here. Drop that over there. Now, it may not have a lot of lift, but it does still have a lot of boost one direction or the other. So once I get going, like forward or backward or strafing, it actually does start going pretty easily. Doot. Yay, cow gloves. Yay, another grinder. This. Oh, absolutely. They were definitely a much needed upgrade over the old ones. And especially with all of the new parts that are available, both in the DLC, but then also just in general. So it was, and it also helps to show that Keen is still interested in supporting. Ooh, that is interesting. Is still Keen. Keen is still supporting the game, despite the fact that they are working on the sequel. And I think that helps people feel good about continuing to play Space Engineers 1. A lot of times what can happen is that a company will start working on the sequel and the original game just kind of gets forgotten, though it still has a lot of support, and in some cases may actually still wind up being the better product. I know that has happened to a couple of companies over the years, and we all get to point and laugh at them when it does happen. And nope. I hate trying to find the sweet spot to grind down some of the stuff. All right. Awesome. Now to return home. Exactly. Which is a shame, because the original pitch for KSP2 sounded so good. But unfortunately, I think there were too many cooks in that particular kitchen. And a lot of them were cooks that didn't understand the recipe. And so what wound up happening was you were in a situation where you had a lot of people with a lot of ideas that were trying to implement things that they didn't understand were not as fun or not as integral to the experience. And then yeah. Well, and then the other fault that it had was that you also had a publisher that demands results. Like Take-Two Interactive, let's be honest, Take-Two are dicks. Nobody sits there and goes, ooh, Take-Two, they're the best company ever. Oh, you're still dinged up too. Man, this thing actually took quite a few shots. Did not realize how beat up it got. Alright, you need to be... Yes. And yeah, that'll be good. I can always remove those, but I just need to get back here. This up and out. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that one. Honestly, the past few years have been a strange few years for gaming in general. Because we've seen such a huge shift in the way that video games are not only handled by big studios and big companies, but also we've seen a huge uptick in the number of major independent releases. And we've also seen huge swings in how what initially starts as an amazing launch immediately or very quickly gets turned sour because of strange circumstances. I think a great example of this is both Helldivers 2 and Path of Exile 2. Everybody was super hyped about Path of Exile 2. You had lots of people who were just really into it. And then all of a sudden, the next major patch comes out, and there's this huge wave of backlash, like, you guys just killed John Wick's puppy. That's the way it feels. Like, what's going on here? Okay, let's go get this other signal. Possibly, yeah. But I think a better example of a company getting major attention, more specifically of somebody small getting a great boost, is you actually have two other great examples. You have the creator of Balatro, who created that, and Balatro just kind of blew up. Oh, there it is. Nice. But then you also have Tyler's video game company, who did Schedule 1. Both of those absolutely blew up. And have been super successful. Nice. Am I gonna have enough space? Yeah, I should. So you are seeing a lot more independent developers finding huge success in making, I would almost say, smaller, more focused games, but are made with the level of passion and excitement that game developers used to have. When you think of all the developers from the late 80s and early 90s, when you had like id and Maxis I mean, you had the early EA, you had Interplay, Blizzard, all of these studios that we know of today that were just small, independent, like 12-man groups at most, that were absolutely revolutionizing games as we knew them. And then you look at what they became, and the original visionaries are gone. The people who made them what they were have moved on to other things. Now you look at the next wave of that, the next generation of independent game makers and studios. And with how robust and powerful development tools are, it's even easier for one person or a small group of people to achieve amazing results. Honestly, peak concurrency, while an amazing feat, is not always as necessary. Like, you're not trying to beat out whoever was the best. You're just trying to make enough for the purposes of survival. And so I think in that respect, as long as you are doing better than Concord, there we go. And again, a lot of those games really are. Schedule 1 has, let's actually, somebody liked it. Is that Steam B? No, Steam. Steam charts? Yes. Okay. Not that. That one. Okay, so we want to let's look up Pal World. And Pal World's currently sitting at about 27,000 current players, 30-day average of 24,000. So that's what they're currently at. And they're not on the list of top games by current players. Here we go. Top records. 2 million. Not bad. Honestly. Like, that's amazing. Monster Hunter Wilds, great. Elden Ring, great. These are impressive records. Hey, what's up, Blackstar Gaming? Now, let's look at Schedule 1. And Schedule 1 is up here. All-time peak of just shy of 500,000 players, with their 24-hour peak being just shy of 100,000, and 71,000 playing it half an hour ago when they last checked. Those are good numbers. Those are amazing numbers for a game like that. So I would say, yeah, they're doing pretty good. And again, small independent game, kicking ass, taking names, doing the good stuff. All right. Now this is where it's about to get a little more interesting in the ship redesign as we focus back up. As more Okay. Hmm. I'm not certain how I want to set this up. One of the big things that I need to consider, there's a few, is first of all, enough thrusters on here so that if I lose one or two or three, I'll still be able to fight, still be able to stay in the fight. I want a little bit of armoring because that's going to be necessary. Schedule 1 is a great game. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun by itself. It is even more fun with friends. It's one of those that doing it co-op just makes it so much more enjoyable. The other day, my brother and I hopped into a game. We started a new game, Schedule 1, by ourselves. And we spawn in, and immediately the first thing we do is punch each other because we just have to. That's just one of those things. It's like, oh, look, we have friendly fire. Let's test it. And so we did. And it is indeed very friendly and very fire. All right. I need... Actually, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and reposition a lot of these monsters. And let's... Oh. I almost think it's... almost think I need to do a full teardown, but I don't necessarily want to because of the fact that I've got these batteries that I want to keep. Ooh. Might have to think some on that. Okay, let's just take a moment here. I know, right? All right, so part of the problem is that I have two of my batteries completely exposed. If those go out, the ship just dies. Period. I'm not too concerned about the cockpit being out in the open because it also does have some stuff around it. And then I also need to worry about thruster placement. So I think oh, absolutely. Power World's numbers are still good. I think this is something that a lot of people seem to forget, is that if you're getting more than 2,000 people, if you're getting more than 200 people, you're doing good. In fact, EVE Online, which has been out for over 20 years now, will generally see a concurrent player count of around 30 to 40,000 people, generally, on their busy days. Now, it used to be up higher. During its peak, it would oftentimes see anywhere between 60 to 70,000 players. And that's true. There isn't anything like it on the market. No matter how many times people try, EVE is its own thing. Let's see. Okay. What I'm going to do is I need some more water. I'm also getting a little bit hungry, so I'm going to go grab a snack or at least something to munch on real quick. And I think we're going to take a break from Space Engineers while I try and figure out whether I want to just completely revamp the whole ship, just do a complete tear down and rebuild, or if I want to try and revamp as much of this as possible. Hold off on that. But we do have Lords of the Fallen that we can play after the fact. So I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to go grab myself some food and some more drink, more beverage. When I get back, we'll see about hopping into Lords of the Fallen and how badly I can fail at that. Unless I come up with something that I want to do in here first. So we'll see. But let's hop up here. Yeah, that was one of the things about Eve is I didn't necessarily have enough money to play all the time. But I started in August of 2003 and I have played off and on since then. So yeah, it is a special game. Anyway, let's save this. I shall be back in just a Alrighty. Before we switch, thank you. Mm, that was delicious. Well, thank you, Hollows. Let's go ahead and grab this. Nope. Okay. Oh, sweet. More motors. It was indeed delicious, and it was some of the shredded chicken from the weekend, as well as some leftover sausage gravy from last week. Just mixed that together, microwaved it, threw it on a couple pieces of honey wheat bread, and it was quite, quite edible. Okay. What, the shredded chicken? I mean, as long as you put it in the refrigerator and cover it, it's not too bad. Oh, you're silver. If you were nickel, I was going to make an exception to my no drilling rule, but that's silicon. Don't need the silicon. Alrighty. There we go. All right. Let us save this. Exit. Exit. And okay. Cool. Let's call this Duke of Bad Decisions. Lord, not Lords. Lords of the Fallen. I guess it would be that one. Yes. Alrighty. Oh, and there's an update for it. Great. I could have still been playing Space Engineers. Give me a second here. The nice thing is that Space Engineers 2 also has an update. But this Lords of the Fallen update isn't very big. It's just over 600 gigabytes. Not gigabytes, megabytes. Wow. That's how used to gigabytes I am these days. And man, I was looking through a lot of my older stuff and through some older games and whatnot, and seeing how tiny they were compared to the massive monolithic games that we have these days. There we go. And it is absolutely ridiculous. And I need that one so that I can add. Ooh, this has easy anti cheat, which actually stands for easy to cheat. That's one of the problems that Star Citizen's dealing with right now, is that it is so easy to exploit and cheat in that game that their entire economy is just absolutely shot to shit because of how easy it is for people to not only cheat in the game, but also for alpha UEC or basically gold sellers to sell gold. Okay, where's the game? What am I waiting on? Oh, there it goes. Really? It was waiting for me to click on the window. That's what it wanted. Exactly. And Star Citizen is trying to have an economy in terms of gameplay nets you gold, nets you ships and stuff. Legend of the Quadrant. No. And then blah blah blah. Except blah blah blah. Except now where's the game?
After eons of tyranny, the
Properties. Yeah.
our duty being to stand vigil for signs of his return.
And that's also fair.
Even exile to another realm
Angel
could not
is
silence the fallen god
how
forever.
often they wind up
And in time,
wiping things. Okay, why? Now you're compiling shaders. Some map stuff. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, it'll eventually show up, I hope. Or it won't. I have to see how this goes. The game is running. Obviously, you can hear it in the background. It just doesn't want to show up on OBS. And again, fair assessment of Star Citizen. Worse than that, it feels like every time I go back to it and I go back to do something that I really enjoyed doing, the stuff that I enjoyed doing is no longer viable or no longer worthwhile, or in some cases, even still there. One of the things that I used to enjoy doing was that there was a set of platforms on Planet Crusader. I really enjoyed doing mercenary missions on those platforms. I went back at one point during one of the updates, and those missions were broken. Then I went back later, and those missions were gone, and they haven't returned. Excuse me, and there's no conversation around those missions coming back. And that's one of the biggest issues, is that CIG has a problem with leadership. And they have a problem with being able to keep all of the parts of that mechanism working the way that they need to. But unfortunately, they just can't. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now, why we no see this? Okay. I wonder. Let's delete this and re-add it. Capture. Let's put it all in. Okay. It's just not wanting to show up. Graphics actually display windowed full screen, which is yes limit, not unlimited. Do 120. HDR no. Nvidia yes. Okay. Okay. We'll try this. Got a couple of different ways that I can try and fix this. We're gonna try a few of these here. Let's restart it. And if this doesn't work, we'll just go back to Space Engineers. Or we could do a more Oblivion. We could go that way as well. I have no problems with that. Okay, we're going to show it. I get the feeling that the answer is no. All right, add. There we go. We'll have to do it that way. Wasn't the way I'd already agreed to this. Yeah, anyway, we're going to skip this. Let's just get into the gameplay at this point. Oh, also, I probably should turn the audio down just a little bit. Oh, God, you got to do the shaders again. Wait, not success, because you're not seeing the up. What? So help me God. Well, no, it's not, but it is. But it's very definitely not. Okay. So help me God. Let's hope that- I think there's a way. Great. Why are you not working? Okay. Yes. Working. Nope, that's not it. Okay, but windowed. Yeah, whatever it is, OBS just refuses to pick it up. What the hell? And even if I do windowed capture, uh, I do that. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we got it now. Yes. Okay. Oh, wow. That is perfect timing. All right, there we go. We got it working. Just had to change an option or two. Which makes me think. Check something. Nope, that's different. Okay. That's fine. All right, let's get a new game started here. Hollows is the one that got me Lords of the Fallen. In a conflict between the divine, are mortals mere pawns? Absolutely we are. Whether the flesh of gods or death itself, all will be consumed. Yea. For she must feed. I've known a couple of women like that. I know, right? So dramatic. Oh, shit. We are doomed.
Boris, forgive. And steer this weapon of deliverance to a worthier servant than I.
Okay. Flashlight away.
You never possessed
I know, right?
this crusader. You failed.
Oh, damn. Off with his head. Oh, I should also move the... because I'm not modded. Okay. Class. Sure. That's the Hallowed Knight. Dirungur? Warwolf? That's pretty badass looking. Partisan? Let's see. Looks like Shield, Morning Star. crossbow. The Mornstead Infantry. Black Feather Ranger. I think I need to up my texture resolution a little bit. Exiled Stalker. That guy looks kind of cool, not gonna lie. Orion Preacher. I mean, almost. Pyrrhic Cultist. Okay, that looks pretty badass. That's not fun. Then Condemned. Pick at your own risk. I'm guessing this is the I'm a lunatic and I'm going to do something really stupid. Watch this kind of play style. That's an advanced class. So let's try the Warlord. That sounds pretty cool. Head. Body. See, that is an appropriate body type. Let's go like that. Yeah, tattoos, definitely. Could be a little brighter, I do believe. That's his back. That's cool. Oh, there we go. That's scarification. Interesting. Increase that. Increase intensity. I want you to be super intense. That. Yeah, there we go. Maybe a little less intense, a little less. You know what? Whatever. It's good enough for me. Head. Facial hair. Big ol'. Ooh, there we go. Put some. I'm guessing those are supposed to be flowers. In his beard. Hair. No. So pretty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'll work. And review. Let's do change name to Cruz Coda. And play. We're definitely going to have to make some changes, though.
Law,
the latest receiver of his grace. Great potential dwells within you, doubtless, for you to be chosen thusly.
Yay!
And so does Aureus' wisdom guide my hand in the bestowment of this subsequent boon.
Yay, I've been booned.
Your flesh has been made sacrosanct with the mark of the Dark Crusaders.
Yay?
Prove yourself worthy of this gift. Seek me in the bowels of the bridge. Our work is of the greatest import.
Okay. I guess. I haven't gotten to work yet, so I don't know how important it really is. And okay. First settings, graphics, texture quality, high, shadows, medium, view distance, motion blur, off, film grain, off, chromatic aberration, off, umbral. I think we'll keep that. I don't know how well that's going to work. Resolution scale. That's, yeah, there you go. I guess that's. There we go. That not set. Oh, that did. Okay. So, okay. I want it. I want to do full custom. Nope. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Heavy attack. Got it. That always feels good. I like to do the smashing of the thing. Damn, okay. That is rough right there. Huh. What is this? I will pick this up. Enervated Vigor Skull. Sure. Aha. Okay. That's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Sprint is V. Jump is F. Okay. Escape. Inventory. Melee weapons. Ranged weapons. Throwing hand. Nice. I guess it's under equipment, which I already have equipped. Throwing rock. Nice. Rings. Okay. Slot. Okay. Consume ammunition. Different ammunition types have varying costs. Okay, got it. There's apparently something this way. Select. Oh, now that's cool. Well, and in some cases, they kind of have to adjust the keybinds because of the fact that there are additional things that they need to do. That is creepy as fuck. Okay. Now what? Am I supposed to do? Well, it prevents my progress. That's good to know. Looks like shift is a block of some sort. Oh. Okay. No. There we go. Nothing too weird over here. Okay. The Sanguinarix is your primary healing tool and recharges automatically upon reviving. Select with. Okay, cool. Select. Aha. Okay. Go down there or no? Get the feeling of no. Maybe I do. Let us go down there and find out. Ah, okay. That's what that was. That is satisfying. I really do enjoy smacking things with a sword. Awesome. All right. Okay. Oh, it is? Okay. Of course it would be. Of course it would be. Balanced. Let's go. Actually, I bet if I went DLSS, but I went with FSR, do not quality, performance, sharpness. Yes, limit of 60. What changes? Nope, it's still doing it. I swear. I just can't win for losing. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why it does it. There's no reason why it should be doing what it's doing. Because honestly, the video card should be able to handle this. It's not at super high settings or anything like that. We'll drop it. We'll set it back to auto set. Partly, but also partly not. Like it's one of those that I think it's just that I could probably use a reboot of the computer kind of thing. Ah, that. Got it. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening. Thank you. I think what I'm going to have to do for now, as much as I want to stream this, is it could be a situation where I would just have to completely reboot the machine, which I don't feel like doing right now. So I think instead what we'll do is we'll just wrap it up a little bit short today. know if I can save this. Yeah. We'll just be there. And then I'll just reboot. Wow, later. We'll just come back to it. Hopefully tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll reboot before I do the stream. And so that way, when we get started back up, hopefully it won't be much of an issue, especially considering we had such a problem with trying to get it started before. Other than that, though, so far so good on the space engineer side of things. That's going well. Hopefully, we'll be able to. I know, right? We'll be able to keep that going. I want to do the ship. We're going to do the ship rebuild tomorrow. Try and get it rebuilt enough that I can then take it over to that pirate base, and we can see about taking out the guns and then salvaging that little base. I also need to take out the drones. I need to be careful of those. Other than that, though, that is going to be it for today. As always, thank you all for joining me on these misadventures. So glad to have you guys along for the ride. You all have a wonderful day. Stay out of trouble. And remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys tomorrow.